Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Base Life Guru podcast. I think I'm going to call it Welcome to the Base Life. On this episode, we're going to be talking about a tweet I saw that was saying 75% of rich, jacked, and educated men are still single. They're not even trying to date. What could be the problem? It's a great question. We're going to go through that on this show. So I try to boil down. I look through all of the things people were saying. And it boils down to 5 main points. Women, listen up. And guys, I'm going to give you some advice because some of this is just a cope. Some of it is a cope, but there's a lot of great points as well. The first one is obvious. Fear of losing everything in case they get married and they end up losing everything. We see that all over. This just means, men, you have to choose wisely. But if I was giving women advice, I'd say you need to understand the fear that men are walking into. Men don't gain much. If you're a Christian man, sex is one thing. Losing everything for that sex is actually very expensive. So women should be going with a frame of mind of, this guy has a lot to lose if this doesn't work out. I have a lot to gain if it doesn't work out. Women lose some things too, but they have a lot to gain as well. They get half of everything and they probably get supported for a while. And women would be wise to take this into consideration when they're dating men. Like, you have to show your best self. The second reason I saw was just a low perceived value in modern women. And this is where I can honestly say I completely agree with the guys. These women, we were talking about hoflation. Women are demanding more and you're getting less than you've ever gotten before. Now it's too much to ask if we ask them to be fit and feminine and cooperative and submissive. Now they want to pursue their careers, but they also want to live in a big house and they also want to have kids and they also want to not have to work after they have kids. And what are they bringing to the table? I mean, this is a question that I had to ask myself when I was dating. I was like, am I just trying to fill a void in my life here? What is a woman really, truly bringing to the table? And what I found over and over is that really it's not much. A beautiful woman, look, I love the companionship of a beautiful woman. I like the cuddling. I like the intimacy. Do I need it? Do I need it if it's going to cause me to maybe lose everything? Do I need it if it's going to be a lot of complaining and whining? Do I really need that? And as a base guy, I'll tell you, no, I don't need it at all. I can go out to a bar or a nightclub or a wedding, meet a lot of beautiful women, have a lot of great conversations, feel very valued, and then go back to my sanctuary and be perfectly fine and have peace. So if you're asking me to trade that in for some cuddles that come with a high price, and then eventually we get married, and then it's a really high price if things don't work out, the juice is not worth the squeeze. This is what guys are saying. They're also prioritizing their purpose. I think, purpose, there's 3 pillars to the life mastery system, to the Base Life Guru life mastery system. Pillar number 1, mastery of self, mind, body, spirit, and character. The next one, pursuit of purpose and legacy. The next one's fulfilling life, enrichment, home and sanctuary, women and relationships. Women in relationships is not a pillar on its own. Purpose is. But I would tell the guys out there, you can achieve a lot more with a good woman in your life. You really can. I think sometimes as men, we kind of go in our bunker and we're like, we're going to create something great and we're going to hide from the world and we're going to work out, we're going to eat good food, we're going to take our protein shakes, we're going to pray, go to church and do all this. If you had a good woman in your life, it could really motivate you. I was thinking about that. If I knew that I had a baby on the way, or I knew that I was going to marry my dream girl, I would be working a lot harder than I am right now. Right now, sometimes I get comfortable. Sometimes I'm like, I don't really need to do anything. It's pretty peaceful. And this is what women need to understand is if you want to break a guy out of that, you're going to have to lead with your best self, not a list of demands. Not a list of all these things that the world has conditioned you to want. Because you're a woman and because, this is the way it is, you get to be a princess. I will absolutely treat my woman like a princess, but you're going to have to lead with a lot. Looks is a big part of it. There, I said it. The next one is dating is horrible. Dating is horrible. Ever since things went away from in-person type interactions to dating apps or hookup apps came first, I guess, with Tinder. Then dating apps. Then you got the chicks on OnlyFans doing their own thing. And so women have unlimited attention at their fingertips through Instagram, through TikTok, through Bumble or Tinder. They're just constantly getting attention. So they're not really valuing male attention like they used to. So it's really messed things up. It's gamified. Gamification is what they say. It's like playing a video game. How many matches can I get? Ooh, he's cute. All right, let me talk to him. All right, I already talked to another guy. And I feel, look, I get a fair amount of matches when I'm on these dating apps, and I'm losing interest. I'm just like, whatever. I mean, half of the hottest girls on the dating apps seem to be fake anyway. And the other one, number 5, is fear of manipulation or drama. And that is a real one. I'm telling you guys, watch out for these cluster B personality disorders, borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder. This is like attention whores, as they say. These people will mess you up unless they're getting treated for it. And not a lot of women are, especially in the Christian dating scene. They become a Christian like, okay, I'm good. I got Jesus, so that's all I got to do. I love Jesus, good enough, right? And I'm pretty, and you need me, right? We don't need you, women. We don't need you. We like to have you around, but your job is to support us. Our job is not to support you. Like we support the household. We do all these things, but it's really not worth it. And it's leading to a lot of women getting into their 30s, mid-30s, 40s, not having kids, or maybe they're getting a kid. They find some sperm donor, they freeze their eggs or something. They make a last-second shot to have that child. They end up raising the child by themselves. The kid's messed up because he doesn't have a dad in his life. That's not optical. You got a lot of quality guys like myself that would be great fathers that are not having kids because there's a lot to risk. And I'll be honest, not a lot of these women are on our level. I'm not saying they don't exist. Of course they exist. You could say what you want to say about feminism and all these things. The high quality guys out there are still getting women, but they're not committing to them as much. They're not committing to them. And for the ones that are prey, you found something good, as the Bible says. Proverbs says, you find a wife, you found what's good, and you receive favor from the Lord. The rest of us are out here saying, you know what, maybe we're going to be like Paul. Maybe we're going to be like Jesus. Men are not seeing the value. And so what I would tell the guys over and over, and this is a big part of my life mastery system, don't worry about the women. Worry about yourself. Maintain a high standard, live a base life. And if there's any quality women around, they will take notice of you and you'll be in a position to run a good relationship. What I would tell the women is, do the same thing. Look your absolute best. Whiten your teeth. Take care of your skin. Stop eating fast food. Stop drinking sugary drinks. Get your weight under control. Get a good feminine. Work on Google the golden ratio. Try to get your ratio down. Do what you got to do. And check your attitude and your drama and your past and your trauma, and don't dump it on the guy that you're trying to date. That's your problem. That's your problem. This is like going into a job interview, and dating really is like a job interview. In these dates, women, you need to be showing your best self. Women think that they're analyzing us to say, are we good enough for them? No, it's not. That's not what it is. The fact that you're on the date with me tells me that you think I'm attractive enough to potentially be with. I'm analyzing you to see how you're acting. And I'm on the date because I think you're attractive. But even when I'm on dates, I'm sometimes thinking, can I really marry this person? Or when I roll the dice and, do my own thing? Do I roll the dice and go get another one of those? Or find someone 5-10 years younger, or someone who doesn't have a kid? You've got to bring your A game. You don't go into a job interview and talk about how traumatized you are from the last job you went to and how you're dealing with all of these sad things happening, and you hope that this job's not going to do the same thing. They're going to say, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming in here, but I don't think it's going to work. I don't think this is a match. That's what we're seeing. Guys are saying this is not a match. When it comes to divorce trauma, a lot of guys are traumatized by divorce, and I get it. Women too. You got to leave that behind. You made a bad decision. You made a bad decision. It's time to get over it. There's a lot of good people out there, but they're harder and harder to find. And this is why a lot of my show is going to be talking to guys saying, do your best, do what you got to do. And women, try to hear me on this. Try not to get offended. You women need to level up massively, especially if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, 40s. You need to level up. You need to understand that those miles are not valuable to the man, which is okay, because maybe the guy's not where he's supposed to be or thought he would be at either. But if you're coming with a list of demands that the world told you that you deserve because you're a woman and you got a great, you're the best. A lot of these girls I hang out with, they don't even know how to cook. They're still eating a Taco Bell. I'm thinking Taco Bell, how the heck? And then you bring in your weird dietary habits. That's another thing that's annoying. I was dating a girl. I don't eat dairy. I eat meat. I don't eat dairy. I'm gluten-free. I'm thinking, okay, this is annoying. You understand? And then she wanted to bring her dog everywhere. That was really annoying. I was a cute dog, but I'm like, okay, she got all mad. She had an episode and we tried to bring the dog to the restaurant. I'm thinking some people don't like dogs. As cute and adorable as your dog is, they don't want it, be eating their steak or something, to have someone carrying their dog. Oh, it's a service dog. No, leave the dog at home, especially on the first date. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, a lot of the guys, I'll say, are just cowards. A lot of the guys are spineless. They're betas. They're simps. They're too busy getting their cookies from OnlyFans and all the pornography and liking all the putting fire emojis under all the bikini pictures. I don't think those guys are watching this show. And if you are, stop doing that. Unfollow those women. They'll never be interested in you. There's nothing more humiliating, in my opinion, than donating tips to some chick on OnlyFans because she showed you her butt. I remember I used to date a girl way back, right out of college. She used to sell her underwear. She was like one of these import car models. She would sell her underwear that she wore one time in a photo shoot for like $300, $400, $500 to these guys. And we would laugh before we'd hook up. We'd have a good laugh. She'd say, hey, drinks are on me. I got this one. By the way, what do you want for your birthday? They were buying me stuff with your sim money, tipping this. Pathetic. Stop doing it. Make these girls get a real job, or better yet, realize that they have no value beyond their looks and that they start working on themselves so that someone will get married. No, you want to donate tips to these ladies. It's pathetic. A lot of the guys are just gay. Democrats especially. There, I said it. They're just gay. Oh, I'm not dating anyone. Yeah, it's because you're gay. You're gay. Stop voting for Democrats. If you can't see already, the Democrats are full of crap. I'm not saying the Republicans are any good either. The Democrats are full of crap. If you're voting for Democrats, you are G-H-E-Y gay. And a lot of the guys just can't get it. I mean, they may be jacked, they may look good, but they're 5'1", they're 5'1", they're balding, they got all these. I would tell guys, get a hair transplant. If that's going to keep it, take finasteride, do whatever you got to do, TRT. You want to look good. You want to look your best. You're trying, we're talking about, I'm in real estate. You want to stage the house. You're leading with this. So you want to make this a good presentation. A rare woman is going to see your potential, look past all the problems, and still say, I still want this. I like the location. I like where this is at. A lot of women are saying, I don't like the feel of this. And I would tell the women over and over and over, you need to change your frame. The frame is wrong. When you're going on these dates, you have a great opportunity to get this guy into you really quick if you play your cards right. I've went on many dates. I didn't have to kiss him. I didn't have to take him home. I didn't have to do any of that. And I said, that's actually a quality girl. I tell my mom or dad, I said, I went on a date with a really good girl. Yeah, she ruined it later on, of course. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like it stayed that way. But I said, well, that was actually really fun. Then we have a couple phone calls. The red flags start popping up left and right. I'm like, I'm not golfing. You know what? I'm going to take my clubs and go home. I'm not interested in this. There's a reason they're single. But I'm seeing this trend over and over. Women need to wake up. Understand that men are afraid of losing everything if they make the wrong choice. So you want to lead with your best self. You don't want to lead with your trauma. You don't want to lead with your needs. You don't want to lead with your conditions. You don't want to lead with your rules. Oh, the rules these days. I've been talking to some girls. They've been married before. Now they want to settle down. But here are my rules. You can't come over. I don't give out my number. All of these, I'm like, listen, those are fine rules for the creepy guy that got your number while you were, in line at the grocery store. For me, I'm not playing by those rules. You think I'm going to end up marrying somebody or seriously dating a woman who didn't want to give me her number on a dating app because a random guy was weird to her? Work on your discernment, ladies. Understand, women, the guys are afraid of losing everything. And we can always work on our purpose, make some money, and go back to the bin. The bin will always be there. There'll always be ladies coming into the late 20s, early 30s. And now you're 45, 50. It's all good. 55, 60. It's all good. As long as those checks clear, it's all good. They can go to Thailand, Philippines, Costa Rica, Mexico, Colombia, wherever. They can get a real bargain down there. Women, if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, the clock is ticking for you. We don't care about being old. Being an old dad. I'll be an old dad, whatever. I'll be an old dad, whatever. That's why I got to work on myself. That's why I got to look good for my age. And women, please don't be dramatic. I mean, this is the thing. Some of these women, and I think there's a lot of women on these dating apps, Christian dating as well, they got issues. They don't need to be going on dates. They need to be going on therapy visits. They need to start talking to men or women that have a degree that can talk them through all the issues going on. And they're not doing that. They're not putting in the work. This is what I continue to see. And I'm seeing men doing the opposite. Men are, at least the men in church are. The men in church are actually working on themselves. A lot of the women aren't. A lot of the women are hanging out with other women and saying, these guys are nothing. Want to go to Starbucks and go get a Frappuccino? Oh, sure. It's only 2:00 in the afternoon. What's a milkshake going to hurt me? Oh, by the way, I'm 40 pounds overweight. This should help. I'll start my diet when I find a good man. Yeah, I bet you will. I bet you will. And it's just not working out. So I would say, women, I think I gave you some great advice here. The 5 things that guys are afraid of, and men, keep this in your head. Remember, there's no cope. Look, if you work on your purpose, you work on yourself, you work on your skills, you will find a good woman. The question is, will you want to go all in and marry one? I don't know about that. You're on your own when it comes to that. You're on your own. I'm not going to tell you it's a good idea, bad idea. Maybe you can talk to a lawyer, get a prenup. I don't know if those things work. But women, here's the thing. Fear of losing assets and children. There's number 1. Low perceived value in modern women. Women, if you are a feminist, if you are a Democrat, you love talking about your politics, shut up about that on the date. No one wants to hear about it. I tell women on dates, look, if I only care about your political opinions if they align with mine. If they don't, I don't care. I've thought about this longer than you. I've looked into these issues. I'm not reacting with an emotional response and saying, well, I'm a Democrat because it just feels better. Those Republicans seem racist. I've looked at the issues. I've researched this to a level, 100 times of a level. I've surrounded myself with people that know what they're talking about. You watch the news. You watch The View. I don't care about your political opinions. Hide those things from me. Men are also working on their purpose. Women, if you want to help be a good asset to a man, you want to show that you're supportive of someone pursuing their purpose. That you're going to be a good teammate for that you're going to give them a pep talk, that you're going to keep them motivated. I mean, imagine that you want to date. They said, wow, I really like what you're working on. That's really cool. I'd love to talk about that more. What did you say? What would you say your next project was? Why are you holding back? When are you going to launch that thing? That's a woman I could build something with, right? The next one is the negative view of modern dating culture. And, women, that's just something you're going to have to understand, that there are a lot of women out there that are messed up. Now, what women are doing now is they're just putting Christian in their profile, saying they're looking for a godly man, but they're keeping all of the worldly standards. Women, if you're in your late 20s, you're in your 30s, the time's a ticking. You need to be looking for a good Christian man who's going to church, who's being sincere about that, who's reading the Bible, who has spiritual discipline, who's taking care of himself. who's paying off his debt or out of debt, who's made money and has character. Character. Imagine that, has character. How tall he is, how much you like his last name, whether he's everything you've ever dreamed from in your Prince Charming, that's worldly. Put that aside. You're not in a position to be looking for that right now. It's like going to a breakfast place. They're like, yeah, so you guys still serving breakfast? No, we're not serving breakfast anymore. It's lunch and dinner only. Okay, you're on that menu. You don't get to go to breakfast menu. That's already gone for you. Time to start looking at the substantial things. And lastly, men are fearing manipulation and drama. And this is just, look, we accept some of this. We're men, you're women. You're going to respond to things. We're going to have to, wow, babe, that's crazy. Wow, thanks for telling me that story. Man, I really, I'm going to pray on that for you. But we don't want to have someone who's just, let me tell you about how much my coworkers suck every single day. We want positive thinking. We want a cheerleader. Oh, my day was cool. You know how it can be. Tell me about your day. When are we going to hang out again? I miss your face. Wouldn't that be nice to hear from a woman? Not, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. My coworkers suck and there was traffic. And guess what? I went to pick up my prescription and they didn't call it in. Why don't they call it in? What's wrong with them? Blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm complaining about. You don't get to do that. So thank you very much. I think you learned a lot. If you watch this, watch it over again, women. Men are afraid of losing everything. They don't think you're bringing much to the table, especially with the hoflation. The hoflation is out of control. If Donald Trump came out and said, I'm going to lower hoflation, I'm going to import beautiful women, Christian women from other countries, those are the only migrants we will allow, he will have my vote, and every person that says that will have my vote. And support a man's purpose. This is a big part of it. The purpose is not a competition against you. A woman that can support a purpose is a valuable woman. Praise the Lord. So thank you very much, friends. I'll see you on the other side. Oh, wait. I won't see you on this side. Please like and subscribe. I have 2 subscribers, me and my mom. That's it. So please like and subscribe to this. We're going to bring on women. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to be building a community. If you're a guy, you're trying to level up, I'll be offering fitness advice, all these wisdom and insights. I follow the best people on Twitter. You're going to be getting the best knowledge, information out there, even news and current events and everything in between. So please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the show. I'll see you on the other side.